could definitely see a big mental mistake. That pass back to Courtois, another penalty kick given up, pull in the box, whatever it is, they're gonna, dude, we call it in Spanish colmillo, dude. Like, they just have that like extra sense of like, hey, this guy's like right on my back, I'm just gonna fall and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they play, and that's how Mourinho wants them to play. So, dude, if we get a tie out of this, going to Benfica, I'll be more than happy. Obviously, a dub would be ideal, but if we come back and the score is 1-1, 2-2, whatever it is, I'll fucking take it any day. But if we lose 3-1, 4-2 again, now I'm starting to worry, because then he's gonna park the bus next week when he comes to the Bernabeu.
If we're going to continue to see sustained levels of success and not see these up and down flip-flop years, year after year, with this young bunch of kids that we have, we got to recognize there's a problem. Hansi Flick has to recognize there's a problem. And I'm not going to say it's the highline. I'm saying it's decisions that get made amongst the tactics that we choose to implement. If they can't make the right decisions, you got to find a way to adapt. You can't adapt, you die. That's just how it works. FC Barcelona just followed up probably the most brutal loss in the Hansi Flick era with another back-to-back defeat in La Liga against their Catalan rivals Girona away. At the same time, Madrid keeps stacking results, 8 in a row now ahead of a massive European night. We're going to talk about all of those today on the video. As you guys know, if you're not brand new to the channel, my name is Jose. I'm the Barca fan here. We have my boy Andre here. I've known for several years now, and he is the Madridista in my friend group, begrudgingly. All right, man. Let's jump right in. I'm not in the happiest of moods today. It is what it is. Tough. Barca losing to Girona on the road to lowly Girona, 18th place or 19th place Girona in the relegation battle. This game's never easy, regardless of what place they are in the table, but it doesn't take anything away from just how shockingly bad of a performance defensively this was for Barca. And before we go into any part of this video, before we break down anything at a more rational way, I just gotta get some things off my chest, plain and simple. I think this back line is the most suspect it's been in the Hansi Flick era. And to me, that's saying a lot when you think about just how many pieces we've had to move in and out between last season and this season. There's a handful of consistent players in there, but regardless of who's back there, this is probably the worst this team has been in the back. And I know, Andre, you're probably going to come in here right now, bro, and just scream at me about the high line. I'm gonna say something that is unpopular, I think, by many out there. I don't fault the high line entirely, bro. I will say what I've been saying for all season long, I feel like, which is, one, there isn't a team in Spain who's going to hoist up the Champions League trophy at the end of this year. I just don't believe it. Based on what I'm seeing across the board between the big three of Atleti, Real, and Barca, I just don't see it. There isn't enough consistency across any of those teams. But when you dig into why they're inconsistent, each one kind of has a different reason. And I think from Barca's perspective, it really is the fact that everything from how the manager decides to play in the biggest of games to the decisions that get made, these micro decisions that get made all over the pitch from the individual players in the back line, whether it's Araujo at the beginning of the year getting stupid red cards, Koundé getting caught flat-footed in 1v1 situations time and time and time again, assigning players unnecessarily. Why is Joao Cancelo just not playing? Why is it that Eric Garcia was revolutionary as a right back, but we haven't seen him there in over a month now? Like, I just don't understand the decisions getting made at multiple levels of this organization as it pertains to our back line, how we continue to defend this title. I'm not going to come up here and say the season's over, because it's not. It's February. We're, 2 points behind? Fine. We had a substantial lead. We coughed it up.
We saw it last year, though, right?
Yeah, and even before that, right? Yeah. I mean, Real Madrid started off hot. They won El Clasico. They were 5 points clear. We turned that around.
Like, the league's over. It's like, no,
it goes as we know how it flows. It goes back and but I will say this: regardless of what the ebbs and flows, the peaks and valleys looks like, Barca is not going to do a damn thing. And I will say this: Barca could repeat as La Liga champions, and I would still not be impressed unless we found a way to be consistent enough to challenge in Europe. And right now, the only major European team that we've beaten this season is Newcastle. It is the only one. Outside of that, all those wins we stacked up in the Champions League are ones that we should have won, in my opinion. And the ones that we lost to PSG, close game, fair. Chelsea getting battered 3-0 after a stupid red card. These are the micro decisions that have me just severely doubting where this team is going to be by the end of this season. We can talk about what happens after this in a later episode. We have to dive into that right now. But, brother, I will just say, for anybody who's sitting out there playing the victim, like we got fucking robbed today, you're part of the problem. You're a massive, massive part of the problem for why Barca will not improve upon where we are today. Because in order to get there, you have to recognize there's a problem first.
Accountability.
You have to recognize it.
Accountability.
Yeah, be accountable, bro. Like I saw some shouts, and we'll talk about the Atleti loss in just a second. I saw some shouts about Barca having crazy calls go against them, almost in like corruption style fashion, right? Against Atleti, fine, bro. I hear it. I saw some of the because again, I didn't watch this game live, right? I had to go back in the middle of the night, around midnight, and watch the game back myself. And it sucked to have to spend 2 hours in the middle of the night going through that. But with that in mind, bro, like yes, there are some shouts that I hear, but outside of that, bro, it's copium. It's copium at its fucking finest. Like we're just trying to grasp onto straws as to why this team is not performing at the level that we expect them to. And I understand that we're defending champions, but bro, if we're going to continue to see sustained levels of success and not see these up and down flip-flop years, year after year with this young bunch of kids that we have, we got to recognize there's a problem. Hansi Flick has to recognize there's a problem. And I'm not going to say it's the high line. I'm saying it's decisions that get made amongst the tactics that we choose to implement. If they can't make the right decisions, you got to find a way to adapt. If you can't adapt, you die. That's just how it works.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And you have to have the right personnel to run a high line.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean,
like
I don't think necessarily we don't have the right personnel.
No, agreed. But it's just
I think we could have faster center backs.
Sure.
We could have faster center backs, but it's just like it's little micro decisions where I'm like Kunde, are we really going to? Yes, exactly. They seem distracted, or they seem, like you said before the show even started, maybe they seem tired, maybe they can't sustain these levels season in and season out. I'm kind of lost for words as to what it really, really could be. But whether it's Kubarsi easily getting beat on a 1v1, whether it's Kunde seeming like he's not even there, like attackers are able to just blow right by our fullbacks. Our fullbacks this season have been almost non-existent. It's why we had to go out and loan out a player like Joao Cancelo. But again, what's the point in doing that if we don't use him? So there's so many questions that I have about Barca at this moment in time. But with all of this said, I'm a realist. I do not think our season is over. I saw plenty of Barca fans saying that it is. I saw them saying that after the Atleti loss, that if we follow this up with drop points in any way, shape, or fashion, we hoist up the trophy from Madrid. Madrid runs with it now from here on out, and that's the way life is. I don't believe football works that way.
No,
I don't believe football works that way.
Especially
so. Anyway, let's get your thoughts, bro. Let's get your thoughts.
I mean, like we can definitely dissect both matches. I think overall the biggest piece or area of concern for me is defensively for you guys. Like we're aware of what you can do up top, right? And I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at players, but like for example, the Lamine penalty today, right? Like what are we going to do? Like he's human.
I wasn't mad about that. Like
that's what I'm saying. He's human. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, where's your Ballon d'Or nominee? Like most people on Twitter are like rage baiting. It's like no. Let's not point fingers at this guy who's not even 20 years old yet. Like I don't want to fucking do that. But I think overall, there's something lackadaisical about the back line that is tasty and enticing. And in Europe, you're going to get fucking shredded. And Atletico Madrid took advantage of that. Yes, some calls went against you. Yes, it was not necessarily, a favorable match in terms of refereeing for you guys. But that's not an excuse to lose 4-0 against the Cholo Simeone team. I also believe that Barcelona is fully capable of putting one in the first 10 minutes of the second leg, and the game turns around. Right? Like you guys are playing at home. You have Levante and Villarreal coming up also at home. The next 6 matches, I think you guys play 5 out of 6 at home. So that should help the legs, and it should help fatigue, and it should help the fans kind of get behind the team. But man, the loss against Girona is just extremely disappointing for your fan base. Obviously for us, I'm licking my chops. Like Habemos Liga, which is, a term that's used in Spain. Like we still have a long way to go, and we know how it goes. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, well, Madrid played really well against Sociedad, so now we're better, and, forget about it. Dude, we still have Benfica. Like Benfica could easily fucking take us out of Champions League. Mourinho is at the ready to come to the Bernabeu and put on a fucking, disaster class against us. So to your point, the league's not done. Europe's still a long way to go. You're not going to win the league in February, but you could lose it. So I think it's more of a matter of like who's going to take advantage of that. Atletico is obviously, we saw how inconsistent they are losing against Rayo Vallecano. So I'm not even going to sit here and be like, oh, Atleti's a powerhouse and they're going to go far in Europe. I completely agree with you. I don't think any of the big Spanish titans are going to take the Champions League this year. So All that to say, if I were a Barca fan, I'd be definitely worried, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I agree. And now here's what I will say is the most worrying, right? When you look at this, I think Sidlow's one of my favorite journalists globally. I think he has
well
such
respected too.
Yeah, very well respected, very rational, and has enough I think in moments where sensationalism is everywhere, he has enough of control over his emotions to take a step back.
He's objective.
And really assess what's going on. And I love this. I love the way he put this because I could not have put it any better. Every time Barca have the ball somewhere near the Girona area, Girona have 100 players in there to stop them. Obviously hyperbole, right? But they were getting everybody back. Every time Girona have the ball somewhere near the Barca area, Barca have no one except Joan Garcia. Okay, so slight exaggeration, but Barca so open. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You saw it in the last stretches of the game where Joan Garcia still had to come up big. 100%. He was quite literally the man of the match. I think for anybody, and we look, I've always said Barca need a keeper like this for a number of reasons, right? We are such a very attacking heavy side, so we never. I would say never like the years under Hansi Flick, but still have always been a heavy attacking side. So you would like to have someone like a Joan Garcia back there to be a sweeper keeper, to offer us a little more protection, especially when you compare it to the latter years of Ter Stegen. Put all that aside. I understand. This is why, to me, Andre, the high line is not a problem. It's not. You know what? You know why? Because we know they're going to have all that space in behind us. If we know that, how the hell are we not having the utmost urgency to close players down?
I mean, against Atleti, it was so obvious. Every goal was the same. Every goal was a diagonal ball into the back, left back or right back, whatever it was on the outside. Diagonal ball back into the box, 2 touches, goal. Every single goal against Atleti was like that. And there was no sprinting. There was no urgency, to your point of shit, we know they're going to expose us. Griezmann's pretty fucking fast. We should get on his ass. Alvarez is really fucking fast. We should get on his ass. No, it was just they turn around and I'm going to pass him over to you. Yeah. Figure it out.
And then you hear rumors about the Barca players coming to Hansi Flick after the game and saying, hey, in some of these games we should be more pragmatic. Maybe, right? And this is another thing. This is where the victim mentality the fans have as a whole trickles into the fucking brains of these young players. Hey, coach, you're setting us up to fail. Look at what you're doing. No, brother, you know these tactics are coming. You are younger right now than you'll ever be. You're more physical than you'll ever be. You know that if the ball gets conceded, you need to sprint your ass off to win that ball back as high up the pitch as you possibly can because you're exposed behind you. But instead, what do? We lose the ball and there's zero urgency to close him down. So what does that lead to? A quick diagonal ball over the top vertically to send one of their attackers into space. And then we're in trouble, right? And then we got to figure out a way to get all the way back and try and close him down, which in reality we can't because we don't have the fastest defenders out there.
It just becomes dominoes. It's one thing after another. Now it's snowballing and now you're trying to figure out and then it's hopefully Joan Garcia can fucking save this,
This is what I'm saying though. This is why my biggest issue is not the high line. The high line only stops working when the initial step is not taken, which is you have to get up there and close him down from the front. If you don't do that, the high line at that point doesn't work.
Exactly.
At that point, it doesn't work.
It's not that. It's the fact that it's not I saw it against Girona a handful of times today. High line, as soon as they cross, the 50 or the half field line, the midfield line.
Yeah.
High line pushes up, but then up top, nobody's chasing. I will point out, Lamine was kind of jogging around, maybe I'll shadow this guy. It's no, everybody has to press in order for it to work. Otherwise, perfect example of what happens against Atleti.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
he's got, dude, Flick has some shit to figure out, man. I mean, the good thing, I will say, is you've got Levante, Villarreal. You go to Bilbao, which could be a tough one, but then you've got Sevilla and Rayo at home. So, the next 4 out of 5 matches coming up in La Liga should be easy dubs. And then, of course, you got the second leg against Atleti in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think at the end of the day, this is probably, like I said, a hot take because there's just so many reactionary fans on the timeline right now. But at the end of the day, man, I'm sitting here right after the game. We're recording this literally right after full time. And I'm more worried about how we try to not get smoked in the Champions League when we come back in the knockout rounds. Honestly, bro, we could concede La Liga and it wouldn't bug me as much if we looked really good in the Champions League, for the knockout rounds. And that's what I'm saying. Because in my mind, with how we play these last 2 games, it is belt to ass against someone who's insanely good up front, right?
Like
If
a
we were to
Bayern?
draw, yeah,
Like,
bro. If I'll be so for real, and people who know me know Arsenal's my second team.
I know.
Arsenal is dunking on this fucking team in Champions League.
Easy.
Like
The way they
I'm
play
so for real, bro.
with their
Martinelli
wingers,
against his back line is licking
Saka.
his chops. Gyökeres licking his chops, bro. Like it's not even fair. It's not even fair. Like I'll be so for real, man.
I mean, yeah, you see it in some of our group chats, or even if you just go to some of these hubs for Prem fans, right? Who basically think the Prem is better than La Liga, blah blah blah. They always shit on us, but they're all being like, even if you're not an Arsenal fan, you're like, holy shit, this team is tasty, bro. Whoever gets them next in Champions League, they're gonna get cooked. So, I mean, that's different, obviously, perspective, but I agree with you. Like, this is not gonna be sustainable. Let's just put it this way.
Yeah. So to me, this is not a crisis, despite what a lot of Barca fans say. But I just want to see this team getting back to playing on all fronts. It's great that we're attacking side. It's great that we scored more goals than anybody in La Liga by a mile. But if we score 3, it doesn't matter if the other team is scoring 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to find a way to start plugging holes in the back. And to me, I don't think it's changing the tactics or the setup. I think it's changing the level of effort that is put into
individually by players.
Yes, that is put in by players to make the system work. If we figure that out in the business end of the season, we can not only salvage La Liga, we can avoid getting embarrassed in UCL. We'll find out if it's actually going to happen.
What do you think Pedri would change, say, if you had him against Atlético and Girona? Do you think the scoreline would be different? Would he control the game a little bit more, the way you guys play? Like, is that affecting you as well?
Yes, I think the fact that we could not keep the lead for longer than 3 minutes today was a massive
crazy
problem. Yeah, and I think that what Pedri offers you is a perfect example is the Newcastle Champions League game, right? I think when we were up 2-0, Newcastle scores right at the start of stoppage time, like right as they're about to announce it, and it's like 7 minutes. I think everybody in the stadium is like, "Oh God, like here it is.
Another one.
We're here to upset Barca," and like all we had to do was give Pedri the ball.
Yeah,
and like he just keeps
so
it
composed
for all 7 minutes.
Collected.
Like, yeah, bro. I think that's what he offers you. Is like sometimes in those winning positions, it's not about our defense being elite. It's more about just not giving the other side anything to get a little bit of momentum. That's what Pedri does. He controls it. He calms everything down. And when Barca gets in those inevitable winning positions, I feel like we need someone like that, which I think he would have been massive today. With that said, I don't think it's the end of the world. So we'll see how it all goes, man. I think there's plenty of big games coming up, but with all of that in mind, let's get that out of the way. Barca, massive set of results back to back. With that said, I mean, I still think they have a massive chance to come back against Atleti, reverse that 4-0. We've seen remontadas before, but putting that aside, it's just, I think right now it's just getting back on track, getting back another winning streak going, and getting the players to put in the effort they were putting in at the beginning of the year. We'll see if that happens.
We've talked about this, but it helps you so much that you don't play these 2 Champions League matches, dude.
Yeah, bro. If we were in this position that Real Madrid were in, I would say season's chunked. I would be on that train because I don't see how you could bounce back that quickly to get your mentally into.
You'd be playing tomorrow, or
exactly what UCL playoffs require. Like UCL playoffs are massive, man. And we're gonna talk about it. But before we do, let's jump into Real Madrid coming off of a very clinical win over Real Sociedad and snapping their undefeated streak. As well, of course, since Matarazzo got hired as their manager, the American Matarazzo, by the way. Talk to me about this game, bro. I think you might have been the slightest bit nervous coming in, but I mean, 5 minutes in, it probably gets, probably feels pretty easy after that, no?
100%. I mean, it's Real Sociedad, and just because of the form, we kind of talked about it in the last show or the last episode. Obviously, a team that's tricky. They're always tough to play against. Obviously, they just came off that win against Athletic Bilbao in the Copa del Rey semi as well, which is big for them. Just from a mentality standpoint coming into the Bernabeu. But yeah, I think it was a pretty straightforward game. I mean, Vinicius without Mbappe, right? Somebody had to take over. You and I kind of talked about it. No Jude, no Rodrigo. So who did? Vinny, and he's right there. I mean, say what you will about the penalty kicks, you still got to score them. Either way, though, he's the one who basically got fouled in the box. He took the pen and he scored. So pretty happy with his performance. And let's see how that carries forward into a massive tie against Benfica and Mourinho. You and I kind of talked about it off air, but the good thing is that we close at the Bernabeu in a week's time. So tomorrow's game, definitely nervous about that one. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the kind of the scores anywhere in the midfield and up top, pretty solid throughout. Garcia with his goal, which was really good. Trent with a really good assist on that goal. But this is probably the lineup that you will see against Benfica tomorrow, especially because we don't have Jude. We don't have Rodrigo. Asensio is suspended, so he can't even play. He's not available for selection. The back line, a little sus. Huijsen giving out that penalty kick. But outside of that, I don't see any changes to this starting 11 tomorrow.
That makes sense. I think this was like a vintage Madrid win in my mind. I think when I say that too, I mean vintage Real Madrid from like as long as I can remember, right? And this is what the star power that Real Madrid commands gives you, right? You get, of course, the first ball in from Trent. I watched the game; it was pretty damn solid. Great finish by Garcia, and again, it's just the slightest touch, right? But the slightest touch just allows the ball to get around the keeper. Aramburu, to me, was very disappointing from Sociedad's perspective. Giving up both to Vinny. I mean, it's just like, I don't think he got cooked, but in those moments, it was very...
He was just late. Yeah.
Like, I actually rate Aramburu. I think he's a very, very
he's solid. We've talked about him before.
Yeah. I think he's a very good fullback. I just feel like in those moments, I'm like, brother, you need to keep your head. I feel like you reached in, and there was just... You left the door too open for Vinny to take advantage of those situations.
I also think Martin and Zubeldia, if you rewatch those two plays where he gets in the box and gets the pens, they were too far away from him. Like, go support him. You got to double up Vinny when he's in the box. Like,
I agree. I just think they also know that John Aramburu is like him. Solid. I think in that back line, I feel like if there was someone I was comfortable leaving a 1v1 as a center back, it's probably him. But I agree. Martin, in most situations, right, it'd be the same thing if Mbappe was out there. Like, you need to be in a position where, just in case, if he gets if he gets beaten, you're there, and you're right not there. Putting on an island, right?
Right.
So,
because even if he didn't get fouled, especially the second one when he megged him and then he just kind of got trampled from behind. Like, say he doesn't foul him, Vinny's still 1-on-1 with the keeper, right? Or finding a diagonal ball to Gonzalo Garcia or whatever it is. So, dude, Valverde's goal though.
Yeah, bro. And again, vintage. Like, look, it's. I hate it. Trust me, bro. It's just like it's one of those things where, like,
outside the box
force leg. I mean, it is just like. We've seen it too many times. Like, you give him room, he's going to rip it. He's accurate enough to just put it on frame, and with so much power, it's going to go in. This is what I mean, though, right? It's like 2 PKs and a piece and 2 goals that were based off like just individual moments of brilliance. Despite the fact that Sociedad, you would never guess that Sociedad actually were in this game. This XG is higher than more shots. PKs.
Yeah, had more shots though.
More shots. Pretty comparable shots on target, same amount of big chances. Again, this is what that Real Madrid money buys you, right? This is literally what makes the Galacticos. And so for me, very vintage performance. Nothing to write home about. I will say, going into the game, I wasn't super encouraged or super hopeful for Sociedad, just because there were like 5 or 6 players from the Bilbao win that weren't going to play in this game. It felt like it literally felt like Getafe against Atleti last season, where I was like, Getafe was giving everybody hell, and then like they had like a Copa match against Atleti pop up. It's like they benched like 8 of their players and got smacked 5-0. So in some of these games, you have to rotate, and when you do against the giant, they can punish you. That's exactly what happened in this one. So,
how are we feeling about Benfica?
Bro, this is the big one. Yeah, this to me, this is what everybody's here for, right? At the end of the day, bro, I think personally, this is the juiciest tie. This is the juiciest tie of.
I would agree.
What do we call it? The round of 32, or just like the UCL playoff?
Knockout stage is what they call it. The knockout round. But I mean, I would agree. I mean, there's a couple other decent matches, but for the most part, I mean, it's just funny how it works, like the fact that we just played them and then we have to fucking play them again.
It's crazy, bro. Did you think this is who you would get?
Actually, I did.
When the draw happened, like, did you like? Oh,
I was like, it's gonna. I was literally just like, I can't wait to see Mourinho at the Bernabeu. I want it so bad, dude. Inject it in my veins. Let's fucking go.
Fair.
Yeah, he's gonna be psychotic about it. I honestly think that the way that he's like setting up for this, he's probably telling them we have to win tomorrow, have to win by more than 1 goal, and then we just go to the Bernabeu and fucking park the bus, dude. Like, that's, if I'm him, that's how I'm playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the lineup, do they have any injuries? That's the one thing that I couldn't find.
Yeah, if you come down a little bit, like I said, Veloso and Suarez, which we talked about a little bit before, these are some decent players for them, starters for them, but I still feel like the ones, the heavy hitters that the fans will, of course, know. Pavlidis up top, just going to be contending with a young center back like Huijsen, and then Trubin. I think he just cult hero like because of how the last game ended.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, even their back line is pretty solid, dude. Like
Yeah.
Araujo and Otamendi, I mean, they're proven, right?
Yeah, Nico's
Um,
old, but yeah.
yeah, Barreiro's solid as shit, which by the way, super random, but he's from Luxembourg. I was like, what? Yeah. But either way, that I mean, I think, yeah, there you go. There's a lineup. You just put Mbappe in for Gonzalo Garcia and call it good. So
Yeah.
it'll be
I
interesting.
think
We need a big fucking game from the center backs, dude, in this one, because you know they're gonna bring it. Playing at home, they're gonna, they already beat us. They put 4 past us last time too, which is insane.
yeah.
Courtois needs to step up. Huijsen, Rudiger, they're definitely gonna be on Saswatch, in my opinion.
Yeah, bro. I think look, this is a team that in back-to-back seasons has put up 4 goals on both Barca and Real Madrid. And so it's just like
Yep.
I think the Portuguese league gets a lot of hate, bro, but in reality, I mean, the top
Solid
teams
teams, dude.
over there are extremely solid. No one to really write off as you think about, like, of course, Madrid probably being favorites no matter what, even in the away leg, but I still back Mourinho to have his team up for them. And bro, coming up against your old manager now, and again, right, it's not even just an old manager. This is arguably the most like polarizing manager in Real Madrid, not in Real Madrid's history, but in Barca's history too. I mean,
La Liga history, bro.
he literally has La Liga history, but he literally has time spent for both clubs. One as an assistant, one as a head manager. And so when you look at now going up against him and what that means and how I feel like he's going to be talking to this team, how are you preparing for that?
Yeah, that's a good point. And the other thing too that I was thinking about is this motherfucker doesn't care. He's not loyal to a crest.
Definitely
because
not.
Clearly started with Porto, won the Champions League, and then he says, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to the other team. I'm going to your most hated rival. It's like, imagine if Pep came back and started coaching Madrid. That's literally what it feels like.
Yeah, so,
wild. Dude, how do you prep for that? I mean, there's nothing unknown about Mourinho. Like, he's not gonna come out with something out of a bag and be like, oh shit, like, we didn't expect this setup. We didn't know he was gonna go 3-4-3. We know what the fuck he's gonna do. It's gonna be a 4-5-1. It's gonna be, fast wingers. It's gonna be high press. It's gonna be fucking fighting for every 50-50. He's gonna get in the ref's ear. Like, it's all the antics, right? It's very Cholo-esque. It's very Simeone-esque. So that outside of the like off the field stuff, I think players need to be really, really smart about it. And that's why I'm putting Huijsen and Rudiger in Saswatch, because I could definitely see a big mental mistake. Bad pass back to Courtois, another penalty kick given up, pull in the box, whatever it is. They're gonna, dude, we call it in Spanish, and this, you probably know this, Argentinians and Uruguayans, colmillo, dude. Like, they just have that like extra sense of like, hey, this guy's like right on my back, I'm just gonna fall and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how they play, and that's how Mourinho wants them to play. So, dude, if we get a tie out of this going to Benfica, I'll be more than happy. Obviously, a dub would be ideal, but if we come back and the score is 1-1, 2-2, whatever it is, I'll fucking take it any day. But if we lose 3-1, 4-2 again, now I'm starting to worry, because then he's gonna park the bus next week when he comes to the Bernabeu. So
that's going to be that's going to be a massive preview, guys. Do not miss out on that one on the channel. We're coming next week with that one. That was going to be huge, depending on how the initial result really goes. Keep in mind, Benfica coming into this game, we talked about how the rampant form of Real Madrid at this time of year, 8 games in a row. Benfica, since losing to Juventus back in late January last month, it was a 2-0 Champions League loss before the Real Madrid one. 5 straight undefeated, 4 wins, 1 draw. The 1 draw came right after they upset Real Madrid at home, 4-2. And so, but since then, man, come out back-to-back wins. So both teams are in form. I'm expecting fireworks, bro. I really need this to be just, again, putting my hater hat up for a second. I really feel like, as a neutral, I just really want to see, bro, if I can see another 4-2 banger again, I'd be in dreamland. Sure. That last day of Champions League across the board was fire.
That was incredible. It's like it's like fucking watching like March Madness, dude. You know, when there's like fucking 12 games on at the same time. I was like, I don't even know where to look. The multi-view was on. I had it on my phone. I had it on my laptop. It was awesome. It was electric. And the fact that there were so many teams with a possibility to go top 8, to go, to get into the final 24, like, that shit was awesome.
Yeah, bro. I think it's going to be a massive match. And I think that, regardless of how it goes, man, unless it's a complete domination by one side, one way or the other, I think this is literally just the appetizer for what will be the main course in leg 2. I firmly believe that there's a lot of star power on show. Manager versus his old side, and frankly, like, I think that Mourinho, we both know him well. I think that at the end of the day, he wants to prove that who knows, right? If maybe, do you think in some part of his mind he knows Real Madrid needs a long-term manager and he's throwing his hat, his
I
name in the
keep
hat
reading
there?
about it. I keep reading about it.
Is this his audition again? Because I think here's the thing, bro.
Feels
Here's
like
the
it,
thing,
doesn't
right? Well, think about it, right? The last audition before his original Real Madrid stint was Inter knocking out Barca in that year that we could have gone back to back, right?
At the Camp Nou.
Yes, that. I mean, he's sliding on the pitch. Everybody saw it. If he knocks out Real Madrid in this competition, would that be enough in your mind to bring him in?
No. I think if they make a deep run, if they go to like the semis or something in Champions
Bro,
League.
Benfica going to the semis is crazy, bro. Like
That's what they said about Porto, dude.
Yeah, but that's such a long time ago. I mean,
I know.
The last time we saw something like that would be like when
Ajax.
Yeah, Ajax, or I was gonna say, speaking of your player Kylian, I would say Monaco.
Oh, Monaco. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I would say either of those two teams. Probably the last time we saw anything like that.
I think if they beat us, I don't think it's enough. Again, barring anything that I don't know, but it's just, it would be crazy, dude. It would be psychotic. It would feel like we're taking a step back. Like, just because it's Mourinho and he has a pedigree, like that doesn't mean that he's going to be able to come in and handle all the big egos that we've talked about, right? Like fucking Xabi Alonso couldn't really do. Arbeloa seems to be doing it okay right now, but it's also mid-season, right? Like he didn't get the full preseason with the team and blah, blah, blah. Right. I mean, there's obviously pros about Mourinho if we're being objective here, but I don't want to play fucking haram ball, dude. I don't want to play the way he plays. I don't want, like, imagine if you guys had Cholo Simeone at Barcelona. How would you feel?
No, there's no fucking way.
But do you see what I'm saying, though? It's a very similar comparison.
I mean, well, as someone who's gone through it as an Arsenal fan, also, I will say that we've gone through that transition. Literally gone from like playing beautiful football to now like being like set piece FC. And so what I'll say is that like I think sometimes circumstances dictate what direction you go in.
Fair point.
But I like, if I had to like think, what do I prefer more? Us playing beautiful football and finishing top four, or us playing haram ball and contending for titles? Until we win one, I really can't answer that question like successfully from the lens of Arsenal. But with Barca, it's such a special thing, right? Like I don't see a scenario where like any manager would come in and like start playing haram ball because they wouldn't last 2 months. Like I think the fans would absolutely like tear the club down part by like piece by piece. So, but I think Mourinho, I don't know, man. I feel like Madrid would be okay with it. I think literally, like you guys don't have a style of play. Your style of play is winning. Yeah. So, like, I don't. I feel like as long as you guys were getting results, I don't think anybody would give a shit. I'll be so for real. I don't think anybody would care.
How would you feel as a Barca fan if he's back in La Liga?
I think the most epic version of this rivalry that I've ever seen in my life is probably back, because in my mind, Hansi Flick is somewhat like Pep. He kind of has a little bit of that aura where it's like, I don't have to say much, even though he has been in the headlines recently for some of the shit he said. I feel like he never really has to say much. He kind of just like has this very fluid, aggressive, attacking style of play. He's not scared to go at any team, and he tends to let his team do the talking because he knows he has some of the best attackers and players out there. Pep had Messi, and Flick has Lamine Yamal. So it's like there are a lot of similarities that I draw. And if Mourinho were to come back, I'm willing to bet, bro. I'm so willing to bet almost any amount of money that we get that bad blood again. Yeah. And that bad blood, bro, I swear to God.
We need it.
I think we need it. I think my moods back then were solely dictated by football. Like solely, bro, I've never... I remember going to work. Like I used to work at a restaurant, going to work after games and waiting tables and whatnot. You could just tell, fuck, my whole mood would be gone. Like when Madrid beat us in the Copa del Rey final on that stupid Ronaldo header, the Bale goal. The Bale
goal was dirty.
Yeah. I had to go to work after that shit, and I swear to God, I probably made less tips that night than I'd ever made in your life. Like ever. I was just fuck this. Like I'm so over it. And I need that again. I feel like now it's like football's here, and I live and die with it. Don't get me wrong, but it's pragmatic, priorities, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like just life gets in the way. But if that kind of rivalry comes back, bro, oh my God, my wife and my kid are in trouble. I would
love to see a fucking 24/7 Big Brother style camera at your house just to see you fucking scream at the TV,
bro. It'd be insane. My kid would freak out. Yeah,
like,
bro.
It's not my dad. Who the fuck is that?
It'd be wild. It'd be wild.
Dude, all I'm gonna say is Hansi Flick and Cholo Simeone better start wearing reading glasses or shades, because they don't want to get poked in the eye by Mourinho, dude. I'm telling you,
bro, for real. Oh my God, bro. I couldn't even imagine Hansi Flick and Mourinho getting into it. Can you imagine? But I say that because Mourinho can get into it with anybody, bro. He can pick a fight. He can get.
So
he
easy.
can get. Yeah,
he loves it.
He
loves
knows
riling
what
people up.
buttons to push, bro. He can
100%.
literally get a rise out of anybody. Anybody.
I
I
love
tell you what, though, like in those moments, I like it's so crazy to say. I want that motherfucker on my team. Like I used to always say
Yeah, I
as
know what you mean.
players, I want those people on my team
You
because they
hate
have this
playing against them.
mental edge. They
You
have
hate
this mental
playing
edge.
against them, but you love them on your team. Dude, tomorrow, across the two legs, I guarantee you there's gonna be some fucking memes or gifs about Mourinho, dude. He's gonna be like doing this fucking thing. He's gonna be telling the ref to calm the fuck down. He's gonna be like doing this. Dude, I fucking love the antics, dude.
Based on that, though, this last question I'll ask before we get into predictions. Based on that and what you know Mourinho will do, the mind games he'll play.
Yep.
The biggest question I have going into this game, because I'm not going to try and use the last game. This is a sequel, don't get me wrong, but I'm not trying to use the last Champions League game as like a marker for this. I really think there has to be a way that Madrid tries to approach this game, right? In my mind, there's two directions. You can either sit there and try to control the game from the very beginning because you know you're the better team, or you grow into it, or you try to silence the crowd entirely early on with the sheer amount of firepower that you have. What are you hoping happens? I'm not gonna say what do you think will happen, but what are you hoping?
I'm hoping the latter happen. I'm hoping we score in the first 5-10 minutes. We take the crowd out of it. They start getting in their head. They start fucking, getting into it with each other.
But don't you think that opens you up if you like go really hard from the very beginning?
Yeah, but there's something to be said about mentally knowing that you're up 1-0 away in the first leg.
You're not wrong.
I completely agree with you. Like it is an invite for them to, bring it. But at the same time, there's more opportunities. So it's risky, but it can pay off. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. What I think is going to happen. I think Benfica is going to score in the first half. I think we come back after a break and we settle it, and then we get a quick goal in the first 10 minutes. I could see this ending 1-1 or 2-2. I just don't see us winning in Portugal. Coming back, that's a completely different story. So my prediction as we head into this, I think 1-1 or 2-2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's I'm not saying there's no. I won't go as far as saying there's a zero scenario where Real Madrid don't win. You guys can win.
I mean,
I just think you'll leak goals, and I think
agreed.
once the crowd gets into it, it's going to be a little bit difficult. It'll feel like
100%.
I mean, we've seen it, right? Like it'll feel like that last Benfica game where I'm telling you, bro, like it had to have been like a massive like just knife in the chest, right? Like when Trubin gets that goal, because you're the better team. You go there. It's against Mourinho. He probably got them extremely up for this game, and you get to deal with all of the noise on top of it. And you went from 3rd to 9th in the table, so it's like
and the red card.
Yeah, two red cards. All of that perfect storm of shit. I don't expect to happen this time. No. I think there could be tripwires along the way, but I don't think it'll be that bad. No. With that in mind, though, I still think here's my prediction. I think Benfica is going to win, but I don't think it'll matter. I think they'll win 3-2 because it took literally an act of God for Barca to go there and get the win last year. I know how difficult it is. I think Benfica will win because I just don't see that happening twice in back-to-back seasons. With that said, I think like if I were to predict what happens next, obviously we have to see what the game will look like. But at the Bernabeu, I think Madrid wins by at least 2 goals.
2 goals.
So like it's just one of those things where like this game will be enough to get everybody super invested into the return leg, to bring all the fans in for this game to watch and see what happens. Barca fans included.
If they win by 2 goals, let's just say they somehow the game ends 3-1 or again 4-2, like that second leg, I guarantee you, number 1, haram ball. Number 2, parking the fucking bus.
Yes.
Number 3, wasting time. Like Mourinho's gonna go to the Bernabeu being like, "Fuck it, if we lose 2-1, I don't give a shit." Like the 2-goal differential is gonna be massive for them.
I agree.
And that's what we can't happen.
They'll make it a tense physical contest. They'll be very reliant upon capitalizing on mistakes, on set pieces. And then once you're ahead, it's like, how uncomfortable do we make this team of stars? How uncomfortable 100%. Can we make Madrid as opposed to trying to outplay them? I think they might have a few moments where they try to go toe-to-toe with you. I just don't think it's smart. I think you have to really just they know that. But I still think guys like Pavlidis and whatnot, like I feel like they have so much pride in playing for Benfica that I feel like they will at times try to go toe-to-toe. And that's where you're going to start to see, maybe we saw a little bit against Sociedad where Aramburu thinks he's good enough to essentially just take Vinny on 1v1 regardless of his pace. And then when you get cooked, it is what it is. So, yeah, man, I think this is going to be like one of those, like a 3-2 Benfica. If it ends up being 3-1, the scariest thing that could happen to Madrid going to the return leg is to be down by 2.
Yep. Or more.
Yes. So, because keep in mind, as bad as Benfica have been, maybe potentially by their own standards in their league, and why Mourinho had to come in at some point. In the Champions League, they've only lost 2 of the 6 games they had, the last 6 games they've had. And I think at the end of the day, they're coming off of a massive, massive win and have only been in a good run of form since then. So
and Mourinho's a great fucking tournament manager. Say what you will about him not winning enough La Liga titles. I mean, we played against the fucking best Barcelona of all time in that decade, but any knockout game or any head-to-head or anything like that that's like win or go home, he fucking steps up for it. So
I agree.
He's like, let's just put it that way. He's like, I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, man. I think if Madrid does pull off the result, which could very well happen, then I think that, of course, right, going back to the Bernabeu, everything should float in that direction. If it doesn't, we have even bigger things to talk about after that. But I think at the end of the day, man, that's how I see it all going. But again, let us know in the comments down below, man. Madridistas, I'm really, really curious to see how you guys feel. Who's nervous? Who isn't? But this is probably the juiciest matchup, in my opinion, outside of maybe like PSG Monaco, considering how PSG are playing at this moment in time. But outside of that, man, like I said, there's not a ton of super juicy UCL playoff ties heading into the round of 16. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest. So drop those predictions down below. Let us know how you see this one netting out. And again, Barca fans, please, God, I know some of you are already like tweeting away, but just try to be level-headed, man. Try to really, if you have to, rewatch the game before you put any crazy fucking opinions out there. At the end of the day, man, I try my best not to be reactionary. I instead choose to hold my players a little more accountable, and I feel like there's a lot more this team can be doing, which also gives me some optimism for what's remaining in the last 2 or 3 months of the season. So we'll see how it all goes. But again, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed La Liga content in general, Barca, Real Madrid, if you want to see us talk about anything else La Liga related, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you want to see us talk about. I promise we will find a way to work it into the show. If you're a La Liga fan and you want to come on and talk with us, man, seriously, let me know. Come on board. It's a great time. We always want to try and bring these shows to the channel every single week. And one of the best parts of doing this is meeting new friends and new fans along the way. So again, if you want to, drop me a DM, drop a line as a comment, however you want to do it. We'll definitely read those and get back to you. But that's it. So for everybody here at The Second Pint, we appreciate you. My name is Jose. That's Andre. We'll catch you guys next time.